Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, The Riddler, and I'm joined today by...
Mark.
Kendall.
Solze.
And we'd like to announce that Solzy will no longer have socks on his hands for this show. How you feeling about that, Kyle?
Fantastic.
Nice.
Fantastic.
As always, we'll lead off with what we're drinking. So, go around the horn. I am drinking from Pipeworks Brewing in Chicago, the Close Encounters Black IPA.
I'm drinking the Iron City Light from Pittsburgh, PA.
Yuck.
Excellent.
No love for Mock on the icy light.
Kendall?
I have Evil Twins Wet Dream.
Oh, you're a wet dream.
I know.
I have from Counterweight here in Connecticut, the Headway IPA.
Gross.
No, it's not.
Well, whether it's a can or a glass, we drink them and we sink them. Gentlemen?
Jumped the gun a little bit. I'm sorry.
Well, as you can tell, we need some work on that.
See, Paul, I like that. If we could find out like a slogan, whether it's a can or a glass, something, we get drunk on our ass, or something like, that was bad.
This seems,
But
this seems more like a marketing meeting rather than a podcast thing.
Yeah.
We
Perhaps
should put
so.
that on our T-shirt.
Well, before we delve into the show, at the beginning of the NBA and NHL playoffs, we here at Getting Drunk with Sports created our own brackets and predicted winners round by round all the way through the championship winners. And now that those two fine sporting events are at their end, we'd like to share with you our results. Are you guys excited?
Not particularly.
I'm excited.
I'm
won.
too very excited.
I would like to announce that they were scored basically on a point system. So the way it worked was, so like the first round, for example, the NBA, you have 8 matchups going. You had to predict the winner of each. So in that one, you had a potential for 8 possible points. You got a winner. You got a point based off if you picked the right winner of the series, and so on all the way through the finals. Did the same thing for NHL. So the total points after both brackets will be added up. The winner will get a mysterious prize that does not exist. The loser will have to do this icy cold shot of Absolute Lime. We are not endorsed by Absolute.
Yuck.
It's actually pretty delicious.
It's not too bad.
Do you like limes, Monk?
Not even a little bit.
Oh, then you're going to love this. Kyle, do you like limes?
Depends on what it's in.
Give us an example.
Do you like limes when they're in limes?
I love limes when they're in limes.
Do you like limes when they're mixed with lemon?
Love?
And then carbonated?
No.
So you don't like Sprite?
No.
All right. So let's delve into the brackets here. So we'll lead off with the NBA. So, starting off first, we had Ken, otherwise known as Ken Dow, the Iceman Reed. He had Houston going up against Cleveland in the NBA Finals, with Cleveland winning. That's the highlight of his bracket. Now, as we know, Houston did not make an appearance in the NBA Finals, but Kendall still managed to muster out a show-high 12 points in his NBA bracket.
Oh, yeah.
I just did the math in my head. He actually got 11. I messed up on one.
But high 12.
So you got 11. So you're no longer the highest. You're
Damn.
tied for the highest. But still not bad. Moving on. Maxine Washable. He had an interesting Golden State versus Chicago in the NBA Finals.
Went dark horse there.
With Golden State winning, though. So keep in mind, he's guaranteed some pretty good points on the way through Golden State's track to the finals. And that proved to be quite helpful in his show tied high 11 points for the NBA bracket.
All right.
The two guys that don't know basketball beat the two guys that do.
It's
We
all
took
about
more risks than
it's
they
all
did.
about dumb luck.
We did. They took some risks with like Chicago, but like the Golden State and Cleveland going all the way thing, that was an obvious, about more safe bet. Souls, you weren't far off with your San Antonio-Cleveland finals matchup, with San Antonio walking away. Now, that did not happen, but you still mustered 10 points out of your NBA bracket.
Woo-wee!
With correct picks, such as Utah. Sleeper pick. And then there's me, the Riddler, who mustered out a show low 9 points on his NBA bracket.
Well, we're all close. It's not like someone had like 5.
No, you're right. But I didn't predict either of the finals teams correctly, as I thought San Antonio and Washington were going to duke it out. I didn't. I don't know. I thought Cleveland was gonna. They didn't go into the playoffs good, and I thought that Washington.
They got hot at the right time.
Yeah, Washington went in hot, and they maintained the hotness. They were just bested by a Boston
Only problem
team.
is Washington doesn't have a bench.
Well, they do. It's just filled with scrubs.
Like I said,
No, that's not what you said. You said that you.
the bench
like
is very
Braves.
poor. I do like
Here
Braves.
comes the bad one.
All right, into the NHL bracket.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun
dun.
dun dun.
Mark, you've had some apprehension for a long time about
Yeah,
this.
this one,
Not
it's
so
not
good,
going to
huh?
be good. It's not going to be good.
So, leading off the NHL bracket, Kendall Reed, who predicted a Chicago Blackhawks and New York Rangers Stanley Cup Finals, neither of which made appearances.
He did not make it too far.
But his bracket still mustered him a tied for show high with
Wow.
8 points,
All right.
with guessing teams as New York and Ottawa correctly. Maxine Washable. Your bracket depicted as well 2 non-Stanley Cup featured teams in Chicago and Columbus.
I believe the 2 teams I picked got swept in the first round.
No. They were not swept, but you were wrong. You mustered out a show low 6 points
Damn.
in your NHL bracket. Kyle, you predicted the Penguins to go all the way and win the whole thing, which they did. But Anaheim didn't make it. But you still mustered out a tie with Reed for 8 points on the NHL bracket.
Good looks, Kyle. Good looks.
You're a good looking man.
And
Reed.
myself, the
Thank you.
Riddler, also predicted a Stanley Cup final that did not happen with Anaheim and the Capitals, causing me to only get 7 points in my NHL bracket. Meaning that I'm the loser.
Wow.
I took some risks in the NBA bracket that did not pay off. And I got to tell you, I really thought St. Louis was going to get hot in the Stanley Cup Finals instead of Nashville, but they were on fire.
They were. They played pretty exceptionally.
So I lose. But because I'm the host, I get to designate the real loser, which is Mock. So,
Wait, what?
well, I lost, but as being the host, it is illegal in the state of Connecticut to operate a microphone while being drunk.
I don't think that's true.
So, Mock, no, I will do it. Here, you can hear the frigid snap of the aluminum on the cap. Wow! Look at that.
It just picked it up.
It just picked it up. Let's see if you can hear it drizzle down my throat. Nothing says absolute lime like absolute lime.
But would you say it tastes like defeat?
It tastes like a victory.
That's what I was going to say. It's not that bad.
No, it's not.
I think it probably tastes like, eh.
It's like one of those things where it's like, all right,
Yeah.
we can do this.
It's like warm Doritos. That's not a thing, is it?
You mean warm as in like heated up Doritos?
I kind of, well, yeah, like if you like left them out at a picnic.
Oh, okay.
Like Doritos on a 90-degree day.
I thought you meant Doritos like in the microwave.
No.
That sounds like a 7-Eleven thing.
It's like the walking taco.
I think it is a 7-Eleven thing.
Maybe.
All right, we're delving into this is a whole new podcast, fast food items that cause diarrhea instantaneously, and we'll start that. Don't worry. But today's show, we're going to talk about an on-the-fly topic. What do you think is the greatest football movie of all time? Starting with, well, I'll give you guys a minute to think. Well, now keep in mind there are many football movies out there, and you know this is obviously based off of the nature of what we know and what we've seen. You know, there's plenty of movies out there people may have not seen. There's the family-friendly movies in the Remember the Titans world. There's the, you know, more like teenage to like adult ones with like the Friday Night Lights. There's the Game Plan with The Rock if you're into that kind of thing. Kyle
Took my answer.
So there's all kinds of answers. Do you gentlemen have one in mind in which you think might be the greatest football movie of all time in your opinion? Any answers? Any answers here?
Yes, I do.
So Kendall, would you like to lead us off?
Now, everyone knows that it's Rudy, and I'll tell you why. Rudy is a true story. It's a heartwarming story. And my favorite part of the story, the movie I should say, that's not depicted, is that Rudy was offsides on that one play that he was put in for. And that's why it's the greatest movie of all time.
And that's also one of Kyle's nicknames.
That's right.
Is Rudy.
Do we know if Rudy was offsides in real life?
In real life, yeah, there's a picture of it.
Was he offsides in the movie as well?
No, they didn't include that part.
Oh.
In fact, Maxine Washable there.
Cut that out.
If you pull it up on your little tablet there, look at a picture of Rudy on that play, and you'll see that he is, in fact, offsides.
Was it called?
No, it was not called. To my knowledge, it was not called.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I can't confirm that, but I'm pretty sure it was not called.
Kyle, do you know what movie you think is the greatest football movie of all time?
I do, and it's Remember the Titans.
All right.
Also based on a...
True story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also a very heartwarming movie. Take a bunch of black and white kids that don't get along, mesh them together, super team.
I don't know why he looked right at me when he was heartwarming.
It's a real, oh yeah, the Rudy's offsides. It's a real great way, Kyle. It's a bunch of black and white people put together, they get meshed up, and then they just play football.
You also just described the Freedom Writers.
You've also described, tons of other movies.
I
Roots.
described the 1950s.
All right, I don't.
60s.
I say segregation was more of a '60s thing, but all right. No, what's your reasoning exactly? That it's a true story that results in a heartwarming ending between because I think it's argued that the movie is less about football and more about the friendship created by a Southern white football player raised in a white household, befriending a
Julius Campbell.
Yes, a Julius Campbell, a black individual. So, do you think that's the best football movie of all time?
I do. It's just a very good movie. Besides the whole
Maxine Washable's over here. He's Googling the best football movie of all time.
No.
Mach, do you know what your favorite, or what, not your favorite, but do you know what you think the best football movie of all time is?
I have two, because the football movies tend to go in like two different ways. They're either funny or they're serious.
Well, gotta pick one.
So, my overall favorite would probably be like a Gridiron Gang. I like that movie a lot.
But what's the best football movie
to me,
of all time?
It's that movie.
Okay. So we're going with all true stories here. I like that. Do you have reasons as to why?
It was like Kyle said, it was one of those movies where they just took like this ragtag group of kids, all like in prison, and got them to band together and
Willie Weathers.
play.
Willie Weathers.
So, yeah, I mean, The Rock was in it. It's one of those movies where, The Rock. It's interesting when you look at the two football movies, Remember the Titans and The Rock, and you look these two true stories, heartfelt, more, like warm the soul football movies, showing people bettering themselves, yada, yada, yada. You take Remember the Titans and you add Denzel Washington to the role, and then you look at the other one and it's The Rock. Pretty opposite ends of the acting spectrum.
Yes.
Don't forget about Exhibit.
That's true. Exhibit was in there. And I don't know who played Junior, but he was a very large individual.
I was about to do an Exhibit imitation, but then I realized it was going to sound too much like Ja Rule, so I stopped myself.
For me, I'm going to go bias, yeah, sure. But I'm going to also go with a true story. I'm going to say Brian's Song.
Oh, that was off my radar.
See, Brian's Song to me, it's a great movie. Also, similar thing in the 60s-ish era. Brian Piccolo and Gale Sayers, becoming friends.
Now, is it a bias because of the Bears?
That's where the bias is from, the Bears. But it's not because of the Bears. I mean, I could have very easily picked, Little Giants. I'm very biased towards Rick Moranis. But it's the same type of thing, white, black, coming together type thing. Not as much of a heated, race war as Remember the Titans was, but different battle, cancer. Stuff like that. That was a big thing. Brian Piccolo, the fullback for the Bears, when Sayers was playing, and it was just. I would, if you haven't seen the movie, I invite you to watch it and see if your eyeballs are still dry at the end of it. It's a pretty heartwarming, heartfelt movie. Have you gentlemen all seen Brian's Song?
I have not.
I also have not.
I have.
And
I like it. I like it a lot.
No, it's escaping me. The actor who plays Brian Piccolo.
I know it's the same guy.
It's the same guy who plays the dad in Elf.
Yeah, I tell you what,
James McCann or something like that.
Yeah. I think it is James.
James McCann or something like that. We got Mock on the case
I'll
here.
verify. Just bear with
He's
me.
our fact checker.
He's our fact checker while he's Googling the best football movie of all time. He's also Googling how to get rid of laryngitis and
this is just terrible.
how to buy an autographed Kevin Nash jersey.
Never.
Graves is the cure for that.
Mountain medicine. All right, we'll flip the switch into the same type of thing. What do you got for best basketball movie of all time? And Kyle, don't say The Sixth Man.
It is fantastic.
It is, but in your opinion, best basketball movie of all time?
Besides Space Jam,
Besides Space Jam. Space Jam is obviously it's in a different universe.
That's right. Oh, wow.
To follow up, it was James Caan.
James Caan.
Caan.
I added the Mick. I was thinking of Nuggets. Kyle, best
to me-
basketball movie of all time.
I'm gonna go with Hoosiers.
Okay.
Once again, based on a true story.
Yep.
And
As most great sports films are.
actually, I changed my pick.
All right.
It's Glory Road.
All right.
That movie just focuses a lot on what happened at the time in Texas Southern.
So you're a big fan of sports movies that involve like racial barriers.
Yeah.
All right. Are you in fact as well battling racial barriers?
We could be.
Okay.
My people.
Yikes.
Who are your people? Tell us about your people. Is it us? Are we your people?
Are the people of Burger King your people?
My people are the Hawaiian.
I was going to say, what island are you from?
Hawaiians. All right. Now that we've fast-tracked into disaster, do either of you gentlemen have what you think to be best basketball movie of all time?
Since Space Jam is off the table,
Yeah, of course it's off the table. It's the best. It's the
Yeah,
best.
hands down. Bill Murray.
for me, I liked Coach Carter.
All right.
That was very, again, all these like racially charged movies, but
Well, it's not so much of a race movie as more of it is a overcoming economic class
Yeah.
movie.
but Samuel L. Jackson was very good in that movie.
Channing Tatum.
which is very different.
Yeah, usually he's not good in movies. In
Yeah.
this movie, he was very good.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't say motherfucker one time in that movie. And that's why I
Probably.
didn't think it was him.
He may have peppered it in there.
Yeah, he might have. He said it under his breath. If you put on subtitles, I'm sure it's there somewhere.
It's just a bunch of asterisks.
But I like that one. I like that. It's a good movie. Kettle?
It's a toss-up for me between Air Bud and Flubber. I just don't know which one. No, it's probably Coach Carter too. I mean, I like Hoosiers, but I don't know. It's a little slow at parts.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
a good movie.
All movies are slow in parts.
Just ride my coattails, Kendall.
That's kind of my plan.
I think basketball's a little different than football. I mean, there's a lot of basketball movies made, but basketball, I feel like it's a lot easier to work in the comedic aspects.
Like The Rebound.
right. Yikes, terrible.
Just
movie.
thought of one that we all left out. Semi-Pro.
We left that out.
Semi-Pro is great.
Kendall, do you have any reasonings as why you'd like to give Coach Carter outside of what Machine Washable?
I really don't have a reason other than,
All right.
I just like the movie.
That's excellent. No, that's fine. Now, there's always the serious ones, but there's also the comedic movies. So, off the fly, no time to be given. Mock. Oh, boy. What are your, we'll say, 3 favorite comedic sports films of all time?
First one, Semi-Pro.
Okay.
Just would Blades of Glory count?
Oh, yeah, I mean, figure skating, it's in the Olympics.
And then is Space Jam still off the table?
Space Jam's off the table. It's considered the best sports movie of all time. I'm pretty sure Rotten Tomatoes has pretty much cleared that up.
Then as far as comedy,
Yeah, and Space Jam's not
The
comedy, by
Longest
the way. That's not comedy. That's serious.
And it's also
It's
a true
fantastic.
Michael
story.
Jordan saved us from an alien invasion. What are you thinking?
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do this podcast without his sacrifice.
Go Bugs, all right?
Okay, all right. So what was the last one?
The Longest Yard.
The Longest Yard? The Adam Sandler?
one.
Okay. Well, you could say the Burt Reynolds one and you'd be right either way.
Yeah, that is true.
Kyle, I'm gonna mix it up on you a little bit. What are your 3 favorite serious sports movies of all time? Not what you consider to be the best, but just what are your 3 favorite serious movies of all time?
Well, number 1 being Remember the Titans.
Okay.
Number 2 being Glory Road.
All right.
And number 3 being...
I'm pretty sure there's just like a hockey movie called
Come on,
like Black People in Hockey.
recycle another
Like-
answer.
Miracle.
Miracle.
Fantastic.
Why?
Once again, based on a true story. And just the overcoming a big-time powerhouse in Russia.
The Red Threat.
and Team USA being a bunch of kids.
Yeah, okay.
It's always
like
fun
that.
watching Russia lose too.
There's a movie now. Whoever's listening, any hockey fans listening, it'd be nice to comment on it. It's escaping me, and I won't look it up because I refuse to do that. But there's a movie that's escaping me. I think it's the Rangers. I can't remember. But it's a professional hockey team whose bus or whatever they're traveling on, it breaks down in like Alaska or something. I don't remember exactly how.
Are they the Kansas City Chiefs? Or not the Kansas City Chiefs?
The Kansas City Chiefs. That's right. The miracle hockey team. Jeremy Macklin and Alex Smith on ice outskating Crosby and PK Subban. You wouldn't believe it.
Are they the Chiefs though in the movie?
I don't remember. That's why I told them to comment.
Well, maybe you should remember.
Anyway, so their transportation, mode of transportation breaks down in somewhere where they're at. And they go on and they play hockey on a frozen like pond/lake type thing. And they end up playing against this team that's just in the town of like workers, kids, whatever. It's a really good movie. It's a very old movie.
As you're describing it, it's sounding familiar.
It's very good. It is a very good movie. It might take a second watch to fully get into it, but all right. So we're getting close to wrap up time. But Kendall, I'd like to ask you, what are your 3 favorite sports films involving kids?
All right. So immediately thought
Choose wisely.
Of the Little Giants.
Kyle, don't shake your head. Little Giants is a fantastic movie.
And I love Rick Moranis.
And Ed O'Neill.
I'm going to go then with the greatest film of all time and the greatest athlete of all time, Air Bud.
Excellent.
I mean, I've never seen a dog that could play so many sports effectively.
Yeah, and the clown that he escaped from, I'm pretty sure that he was like an Elmo, like Sesame Street.
Yeah, and the story teaches you that you can do anything if you just eat vanilla pudding cups.
Yeah.
That's what I learned anyway.
Snack packs are superpowers.
Yeah.
And then third?
And a third, oh man.
I can see Kyle shaking because there's an answer he wants to hear.
An answer that you want to hear,
see
Kyle.
it.
Doesn't matter what he wants to hear. I know what he wants to hear too, but what do you think? Involving kids.
Involving kids. So, to recap, I have Little Giants and I have Air Bud.
Come on. You got it.
I know Kyle wants something here. And you know what? I can't think of what Kyle wants. Oh, I know what he wants. That hockey film, huh? Well, you know what, Kyle? I'll tell you what, and I want everyone to know, I don't really like the Mighty Ducks that much.
It's not that good.
You're wrong.
It's not that good.
You are wrong.
But
this is about Kendall.
But it's about me. And I think I'm gonna probably go back to my one I was joking about, and Flubber. Yeah, you know why? He's Robin Williams. Rest in peace. Will Wheaton's in it.
To go back to what Paul was saying before.
Is Will Wheaton in Flubber?
Yeah, he's in Flubber. He's
That's
like
awesome.
He's like a
Not
ratty
even
kid.
the Sandlot.
That's true. I do like the Sandlot.
Yeah, but the Sandlot's kind of like that pop culture. It's kind of like the Sandlot kind of falls into the Space Jam thing. It's kind of like bigger.
The Sandlot 2?
Not as good.
Yikes.
The movie you were
You also
referencing.
missed Like Mike, by the way. Yes, the movie I was referencing.
Like
No,
Mike.
don't tell me. I don't want to know. I want
you sure?
Yeah, I want the listeners to comment and tell me.
All right.
Well, you know. There we go.
Unreal.
Did you hear Maxine Washable? Did you hear that? Siri, could you please tell me what the greatest football movie of all time is? Well, time to wrap up here on Getting Sports with Drunk. Keep in mind, it's never a bad time to drink or talk about sports. Unless you're in the car. Don't do either of them in the car.
Well, we talk about sports in the car.
No, you don't want to talk about sports in the car. It's a bad time. Bad time. Bad time. That's what that's what your best friend is known for. Milford native.
Oh, we're talking about a Browns character? Is that what we're discussing?
No, we're talking about the guy who has his own radio show. That was in Grown Ups. Eagle Scouts with him. His dad.
I'm missing this.
Dan Patrick.
Yeah, wow.
Ken Wisenhunt.
All right. Well, this show spiraled out of control real fast. So, couple too many beers for Reader there. So,
You know,
until next time.
I don't really like Dan Patrick.
You know,
I'll say it.
that's fine. He's going to seek you out and he's going to ask you why.
We're going to speak off air about that.
Until next time, I'm the Riddler.
I'm Mock.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
I'm Kendall.
I'm a man of many names.
And remember to get drunk with sports.